Hey, it's me. So today we'll be having a look at Takeoff Moving. It's a moving company in Ontario, Canada. So we'll be having a look at their website, just seeing what we can improve from an SEO standpoint, and then reporting that back to them. Now, straight off the bat, what I usually like to do is just look at the URL structures. Well, sometimes I look at a homepage because the homepage can be quite telling. But right now, if I look at a homepage, they pretty much have like most of the sections that I would like to have on my home services website. So what I would then do is just maybe look at the on-page SEO. But for this website, it looks like they have quite a bit of like location pages and just pages built out. So what I did was I pulled up their URL, and you can see here we have kind of the entire list of URLs there, and it's over 300, I think 340 pages. So that usually tells me either one, they are doing a ton of blogging, or they have a lot of programmatic pages, meaning these are essentially pages that look almost identical. They tend to have thin content, almost exact same URL structure, almost the exact same page structure, if not the same page structure. It's just that each page has like a different keyword. So for example, Parkway Forest, I'm pretty sure it's going to look almost the same as Parkwood Movers, because essentially what they've done is programmatic SEO. Now, this used to work, and it probably still does for certain companies. I see websites out there that are ranking still, and I do hear from folks in the community that hey, we built out a lot of location pages and they're ranking, they're working. But what I've seen lately, and this was maybe from a year ago, is that Google made an update. It was, I think, the September 9 update, where they basically punish these kind of pages because they're low quality pages. Often they're created just automatically, or they're created without much thought, right? So if you create a page where no one is searching for, you do that once or twice, they'll be punished. But if you do that, let's say 10, 15, 20, or even 100 or 600 times, I've heard about folks with like 1,800 location pages. Now, unless you're across the entire country, there is no reason for you to have that many pages. So straight off the bat, just by looking at the URL structure, I can tell that that's going to be one of the major issues. It's also one of those issues that typically come up with moving companies, but also just home service businesses in general. It's either they have too many pages that are very similar with thin content, or they have almost no pages. So it's kind of like between two extremes, and both of those extremes are not really going to help you rank and get more customers, get more leads. So straight off the bat, that's something that I would improve. Now, to wrap it up, essentially why it doesn't work, I kind of like made a list here of items. Now, the reason why it's not going to work is the pages look very identical. It's easy for Google to recognize them because they have almost the exact same URL structure. Now, that's not going to be the worst thing, right? You can have URLs that are very similar, but then once you're on the page, the on page, the title, the meta description, how the pages are structured are almost exactly the same. You would almost not recognize that there's a difference unless you zoom in on like one or two words. So in some cases, the content is also super thin, and it's not that thin content doesn't rank. If you have like a very specific page just for like Parkway, let's just say Parkway, for example, and you only have like 400 or 500 words, and that's kind of like it on a page, it has the chance of ranking. It's actually probably going to be better than building out like a ton of pages that are like 1,000 or 1,500 words, and you building out like 100 of those. And this is exactly what this business owner has done, essentially. So that's going to hurt them in the long run. If not, it's hurting them already right now because of the recent update a couple of months ago. So, right. And like I just mentioned, these pages usually don't target anything, right? There's no one searching for that specific neighborhood or part of the city. They're probably searching for something higher level, right? If I'm here, let's just say I'm in, what do you think of like a very specific example? Let's just say Houston, for example, and I go too deep, too specific. Like normally, if I'm searching for a service, I might just type in Houston, or I might type in like a certain portion of like the Houston, but I'm not going to go very deep and type in that specific block. That's going to hurt you. No one is searching for that. It just weighs on your website. Your website becomes super bulky, and Google doesn't like that. The users don't really like that. They don't really benefit from that. So as a consequence, you weaken your domain authority, you dilute your page signal, and then you also have crawling efficiency, right? It's because Google has to crawl all of those pages, and after a while, Google is like, man, this is exactly the same page as the 100 other pages before this. So why should I come to this website and waste my crawl budget, right? Google is about efficiency, users also. So keep it tight, keep it slim. To the point, and don't go too deep when it comes to location pages. And really, maybe if you'd spoken to me maybe like 2 years, 3 years ago, I would have just said like build out those location pages. It's not going to hurt you. But nowadays Google does kind of like, well, they don't really like those kind of pages. So what happens over time is that your rankings just get suppressed. You kind of fall off the map because Google is not going to rank those 100 or 200 pages, and then your rankings just drop altogether. So for your pages, for at least this site, having like, anywhere from like 10 to 20 pages, and then having the locations, the different neighborhoods listed on those pages is actually going to work much better. It's going to help them rank better, because Google is smart enough, AI is smart enough to like, connect the dots. If you mention the neighborhoods, the zip codes, right, landmarks, or just things to do in that area, Google is going to be able to like piece together that you don't really need to create like an additional page that has the exact same content as the page that's linking towards it on that page. It's just a waste of time, it's a waste of energy and resources, and then Google just basically punishes you in the search engine. So that's number one. Now another thing that I notice is that a lot of move-in companies will typically have, and it's not just moving companies, I've seen this with junk and wool companies and also other home service businesses, is that they just write content, especially nowadays where you can do a lot with like AI, with ChatGPT. And ChatGPT is kind of dangerous. It's crazy. It's really good if you know how to use it and how to like edit, or you're willing to spend the time to edit your content afterwards. It can give you quite a bit of like content, but after a while it just becomes kind of like repetitive in terms of like what it's saying. And maybe after like 5-6 articles, you don't really notice it. But after like the 10th or 15th article, you kind of like seeing almost exactly the same thing. And ChatGPT and just AI in general has the tendency to lie to you. It's like a politician. It will tell you exactly what you want to hear, as long as it comes off as, pretty good or pretty decent, as long as it's fulfilled your desire. And your desire is usually, it kind of tries to sense your desire and then presents that information. And, of course it has like sort of cornerstone, like it doesn't, I've tried it, like I've given it a picture of myself, turn me into an Asian, change the picture into an Asian. You kind of need to like really adjust your words, because it doesn't want to change like a white person into a black person or whatnot. You're right, you have those corners where it kind of like forbidden area where it would just not go. But in terms of like content, most content, it will kind of just tell you whatever you'd like to hear, and if you're happy, it moves on. But it might not be the most truthful answer for your audience, right, or what you'd actually intend to say. So a lot of folks, they kind of just write content for the sake of writing content and just publish it. There's no structure behind it. They haven't done the keyword research. Even if you have done the keyword research, it's not structured properly. We like to structure, this is like a pyramid, but we like to structure our content in sort of like a pyramid where, you have your top level content. That's the main priority content. Usually it's going to be a money page. That's going to be like your service pages or your procedure pages. And then you have essentially 2, 3, 4, maybe 15 or 20 supporting pages that are linking up to those different pages, supporting those top level pages and help you rank better. So yeah, that takes a bit of time. AI is not just going to give you that unless you know exactly what to ask. And even if you do, you kind of need to know how to steer AI into the right direction. So basically, when we do our campaigns, we have a content calendar. That content calendar is based on keyword research, where we look for money keywords. And if we've done your niche before, we already have that information. It's just a matter of adjusting it for your location. And then out of that comes a content plan. And once we have a content plan, it's about systematically building out our content and making sure that it's indexed. And that involves maybe a PR campaign or building backlinks to those pages, so that the chances of it being indexed and picked up by Google is much higher. Because right, there's no use in publishing this much content if it's not targeted at commercial keywords, if it's not indexed on Google, or Google crawls the page and doesn't index it, or it doesn't rank. So we do quite a lot when it comes to like the content. And then once we have a content calendar, we essentially write content using tools like Server SEO, Phrase. There's Neurowrite is also pretty good. And we analyze your competitors, the top ranking websites for that search term. And then based on that, we write content. Essentially, that tool will help us tell us exactly what keywords we should put in your content in order for that content to stand the best chance of ranking. So that's to say, a lot of things, there are probably articles here that should not be there, or I'm pretty sure there's no plan in terms of like the type of content they want to publish, and they're just publishing for the sake of publishing. So that's one of those like issues or just mistakes I see a lot with home service businesses. So yeah, rather than just randomly blogging, what we like to do is just focus on high intent keywords, commercial, bottom of the funnel keywords, where we know that folks are already searching for your services. It's just that they haven't chosen the right company yet. So questions that you could think of is, how much do movers cost in Toronto? Moving costs in Toronto, cost of movers, GTA. We have condo moving rules, Toronto, right? These are questions that are in the mind of people that are looking to move. It's not just someone like randomly searching for how do you, I wouldn't be able to give an example right now, but there's a huge difference between folks that are just searching for information versus folks that are already, well, they've already decided that they're gonna buy a service that you provide, but they haven't chosen the person they're gonna buy it from or the company they're gonna buy it from. So that's where you kind of like come in. So another area that I usually see is just like the service pages are not that good. So it's a weak service pages essentially. So you have just moving services. We see that a lot in like the junk removal space, where they just put like junk removal and they have maybe like 4 different pages where you can actually break that down into exactly what type of things you're removing from the house as a junk removal company. The same for a moving company, like you can stay top level in terms of this, or you can list out every single item that you are able to move. Because just by looking at this, I wouldn't be able to tell if you can actually move a piano, or if you have experience moving a specific item that I'm considering, but in my mind I'm like, I don't know, packing services. Have you ever packed a piano? Right? That could be something that's in my mind where I'm like, I'm really not sure. And if you have an article about that and I'm searching for that on Google and your article comes up, I land on your website. And we've literally had that with clients where people land on a certain blog article or a certain page, and let's just say blog article, because I've seen that happen plenty of times. Even there was one scenario where we had not created a form on the pages yet, on the side of the sidebar or in the footer, but what we still had was the ability for them to leave a comment. So essentially leave a comment or reply down here. This is also something that, let me see here, leave a reply, name, email, site. Yeah, so you don't want to make sure that this is actually a form and not just like a reply to the comment, not just a comment to the blog article. But we have seen where, and we have a lot of times where we've just launched a website. We have not like created like the sidebars or whatnot. And we relaunched the website, and we've had folks just fill out the comment section down here asking for a quote, but it's not the contact form, right? But it's still a lead. And that's just to show that the power of blogs and just being very specific with what you offer. So not just staying at the top level service area section or the top level service section. So to things that I could think of is not just staying with residential movers, but adding Toronto to it, or not just saying packing services, but what do you pack? You can go very deep with that, right? And go endlessly in terms of like and as a moving company, you probably know exactly what items you actually pack a lot of. The same for offices. What type of companies do you work with the most? So not just offices, but what type of companies? Condos, maybe in a specific area, or even special items. The same for junk removal, I should say. So get very specific with the type of things that you move. So here's an example for the same keywords. So moving company Toronto, Toronto movers. We have office movers Toronto. These are all like monthly searches, and this is way more valuable than ranking for keywords where you get maybe like 50,000 searches, but they're informational keywords. They're not necessarily high intent commercial keywords. Out of these 4,000, or I'm not sure, quick math, I see here 7, 8, 8, about like 9. Let's just say 9,500 searches a month. You could actually get quite a bit of clients, quite a bit of like customers, jobs coming from this, way more than if you ranked for an informational keyword that's 50,000 searches a month. So these are the keywords you want to target. These are the keywords that we target. We target keyword money keywords, essentially keywords that where we know these are more than likely to generate leads, generate sales for your business. All right, just to wrap it up, so this doesn't get too long. Like I said, I would, for this client, we would probably go ahead and reduce the bloat. So reduce the amount of location pages to something more manageable. It's also going to be much easier to customize them. Customizing like 700, or I don't know how many he had, I think over 300, but customizing 100 pages, it's a lot more effort than just customizing like, let's say 20 or 25 pages. So reduce the bloat. It's also going to help him rank for more keywords because the pages are going to be individually stronger. and optimize the pages. So re-optimize the on page of those pages and pretty much his entire website. Another thing would be to make sure that we go as specific as possible with the services. So right now we have some top level services. We'd want to go as specific as possible. And then over time, as we get more information from the client, we can always just start like one geographical area and just go all in on that area until we are dominating like the search engine for that specific area, and then we expand systematically. Another thing that I would most likely do is make sure we rework the internal linking, because if we just add new pages without proper internal linking or enough internal links to other pages, it's just not going to work. So on this page here, I'm scrolling and I think I only saw like one internal link. See if I can find it, maybe one or two downsizing. So you don't want to make the most out of the internal links. They're very important, maybe as important as like the off-page links. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but you can get pretty far with a well-structured content plan that's based on solid keyword research, and where you have the pages structured in such a way, top level pages up top, and then basically everything else beneath that supporting those pages. But in order for you to establish that, you need to make sure that your on page, your internal linking and everything like that is taken care of. So those are the main things that I'm seeing here in terms of this site. And I'm not even looking at the Google My Business profile. You'd want to get more reviews, get more reviews, optimize the Google My Business page, make sure that we optimize around